Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be continuing our little series on some strategies with what I like to call the 140. Now for many of you who know classic submarine movies, there's this great movie called The Enemy Below. There's actually a Star Trek episode, like the original series, based on this. And I was kind of playing around with some of the theories and some of the tactics and some of the techniques, and I said, you know what, I could probably recreate some of that using command. And I started kind of playing with some of the different strategies. And then I went back to my Dangerous Waters days and said, hey, wait a minute, I've done stuff like this before. And I decided to put together a quick little scenario that kind of simulates some of the things we can do in order to maximize our chances to strike, as in this particular case, an underwater target, while minimizing its chances to fight back. Let's get started. So first things first, we have ourselves my kind of standard go-to ship. Again, my Dangerous Water days are very evident here. We have the Oliver Hazard Perry class. This is the FFG-36 Underwood. This is nice and long. It's basically a little tiny frigate. It has a little missile launcher in the front, a couple torpedo tubes sort of chilling on the side here, a couple Sea Whizzes, and most importantly, these lovely, lovely helicopter pads in the back. Helping us out today, of course, we have the SOSUS, which is a really neat system. There's actually a very, very long line of these things underwater to basically spot submarines that are trying to sneak through the GUIK here. And we have some really, really good intelligence that there is an enemy submarine somewhere in this region. Now, Central Command says, for the purposes of this scenario, we'd like you to do a close quarters kill, likely without getting spotted and allowing the other target to return fire. Of course, as everybody knows, the true enemy of any submarine is going to be an air unit, but we're going to use the ship because we can. Now, the submarine's captain has been cranked up to maximum aggression, which means if he sees anything tempting in the water, he will simply put a torpedo through its front windshield. Now, I'm not going to worry about that too much today because I've got strategy and math. Let's do it. So first things first, I'm going to use my Orion here as my spotting aircraft. The SOSUS is immediately identified some kind of submarine nearby. It's kind of weird because when I clicked it a second ago, I noticed that it says it was right on top of it. That usually means that you're dealing with a target that if I drew my little sensor here, you kind of have a big cone. It's somewhere in the nearby cone. But again, what is the nearby cone? We have no idea. Its estimated range right now is 0. So obviously we got an error, but let's figure it out. I'm going to grab my Orion here and just go ahead and build myself a quick little expanding box. Expanding box is everybody's old school strategy. Basically, you draw a little tiny box, and then each time you go around with the box, you just make the box just a teeny bit bigger each time. It's kind of like almost like a spiral. It's like a spiral squirrel thing, kind of a thing like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use this as kind of my little search region here. I don't think it's going to be that far out, but you never know. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop them down to minimum altitude and kick the tires and light the fires. Not really, this is a turboprop. It doesn't go that fast. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually delete off my weapons. Turns out we didn't carry any of these because what I don't want him to do is spoil all my fun here. Go ahead and set that to 0. We'll go ahead and speed up time a little bit here. Remember, ASW stands for Awfully Slow Warfare. One thing I did notice, though, is I got a nice little line here, which means we have a better idea of where a target sub is. So let's actually send him out to that line and have him track inwards. Oh, we picked up something there. Keep in mind the reason I'm sort of estimating down a little bit is because I have a feeling that it's going to be kind of an oblique angle by the time I get to it. As a matter of fact, I'm actually getting myself a little bit of room to kind of turn here. And for some reason, he's decided to ignore my request. I'll send him out of cruise power, send him down to mad search altitude. And he's going to come swing around here, and he's going to start searching along this vector that the SOSUS is helping. I'm pretty confident this guy's not there. As a matter of fact, I'm looking now, and I'm getting a little bit closer. So I'm going to go ahead and order him to come over this way. We'll go ahead and add another waypoint across this one as well. And again, we're just trying to fix his position. We're not trying to drop torpedoes on him yet. We're going to get to the mathy part in a minute, so then we can worry about that. Oh, he's very close to the SOSUS station. Let's come swing on a little wider here. Again, this is the pilot kind of refining his course while working with his mission specialist here. And we're just going to swing along here. I'm going to go ahead and start dropping buoys. So the cool thing is you can press the square bracket key to go ahead and plop a buoy in the water. And now we have something. As you can picked up by the buoy. Indeed. Haha, gotcha. So what we want to do is we want to bracket him with buoys. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go actually come down this way just a teeny tiny bit. Overflying a sub is never a good idea. You never know if the guy on the sonar duty is actually pretty good at his job here. The other thing, too, is we don't want to give up the game. If I drop an active buoy with right bracket, basically what's going to happen is he's going to know I'm here. And he's going to go, aha, they've got me. And he's going to go quiet and he's going to go deep. And we're going to lose him. Instead, sploosh. I'm going to drop a passive buoy about 30 feet from him right there. So now in the real world, he'd be panicking and going silent and going deep, but we don't know if the sonar guy was paying attention that day. So the one thing I do notice right away is I notice he has a general direction. I don't have his position perfect, but what I'm going to do is pause right here at 30 seconds. So I'm going to right click on this guy real quick. I'm going to go ahead and say mark position. So I know that at 9:19 p.m. here, all I have to do is 1 minute from now, I can mark his position again to then go get his speed. It looks like I have a pretty good idea of what his heading is going to be. So what I'm going to do is actually head out this way a tiny bit. And we'll go ahead and pop in another buoy in a second, and then we'll kind of come way around. Again, we're just sort of extrapolating his course a little bit here, just through a little bit of guesswork. So we'll go ahead and go here. We'll go ahead and put a line through his course a little bit here. That way we can just keep plopping buoys along the way, kind of a thing. All right as my little Orion kind of comes zooming around the corner, makes me think of a Metallica song, actually. We'll come popping around here, and again, I'm pretty confident we have a good idea of where he is, and kersploop! We have a really good idea where this guy is. So I'm going to go ahead and give ourselves another minute. I accidentally let the 30 seconds go by there, so I'm going to go wait to 20, 21, 30, and we'll go ahead and pause everything. 14, 15, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and pause. Excellent. Let's go ahead and mark his new position. That was 2 minutes. And now we do some math. Math. I love math. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the distances between these 2 points as properly, accurately as I possibly can. I'm going to go ahead and line this guy up right through the middle here. And it looks like we have a total distance of 0.7, or 1,240 meters. 1,240 meters in 2 minutes. Now we can do the math. So if we do the measurement division on that real quick, boop, 1240 divided by 2 meant he traveled 620 meters in 1 minute. So if we want to go ahead and divide that by 60, that means he's traveled 10.3. Wow. Whoa, this guy's moving. 10.333 is a really, really, really fast sub. No wonder we picked him up. Meters per second. So that means in every minute, he travels a total of 620 meters, or about 0.7 nautical miles. Now, you're sitting there going, could you make that bigger? I gotcha. There, is it a little better? Good. So he's going 0.7 nautical miles every 2 minutes. So this is going to work well. So what I want to do is convert this into knots. So I'm going to go pop over to Google real quickly here. We're going to say, what is it, 10.33, let's see, meters per second to knots. 2 knots is about 20 knots. And knowing this is command, it's 20 knots. He's doing 20 knots. Excellent. That's what we need to know. Now, the next thing we need to know, of course, is we need to know exactly where he's actually going to end up so that I can take my frigate, who's really, really loud and noisy, and park him on his course so we can basically go, surprise, and drop a bunch of torpedoes directly into his trunk. So to know that, we need to go ahead and take this right here, and we'll go ahead and measure through here, and surprise, it looks like he's on a course of 140. Nice. So now we have all the pieces of the puzzle ready to act. So intelligence tells us that the overall range of this entire ring here is pretty substantial for the Akula. According to this, we can get a staggering range of about, let's call about 40 nautical miles, which unfortunately my little Alva Hazard Parry is well within, which means I'm in detectable range. However, we know that that sub is doing 20 knots. 20 knots means your total array is basically going to be useless. Now, a smart skipper, of course, is going to slow down and do zigzags every once in a while to make it more challenging for us, but we're just going to make a couple assumptions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my parry, and of course, like I said, I know the outer limit here, which is going to be about here, and we're going to go ahead and use this point here as a way that we're going to get ourselves away from the sub. So I'm going to go ahead and call this exit points. Once we hit the exit point, we know we can then go ahead and get ourselves out of here. So I'm going to grab my parry here. I'm going to go ahead and point at the exit point. I'm going to go ahead and do a little overshoot of the exit point. And now I'm going to travel on 140. Whoa! Let's go ahead and make sure I line that up properly here. There we go. Through the exit point. And now what we're going to do is we're going to travel on a parallel course of 140 ourselves, but what we're going to do is we're going to do it nice and fast here. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't tell me what 140 is, so I'm kind of having to guess a little bit here. And what we're going to do is once we get outside of his range, we're going to go outside, and we're going to turn ourselves around and bring ourselves right back in line with where we expect the sub to be. Now, I haven't done the math yet, so we have to calculate some of this on our own. So let's assume we make full speed here. Full speed on the Alva Hazard Parry. Let's go ahead and check it real quick. Full speed is going to get us 30 knots. So if I click right here, 30 knots is equivalent to, it will take 17 hours at current, 5 hours and 49 minutes at desired. So how far can I go in 5 hours and 49 minutes? So 49 divided by 60 times 20 plus 100. That means the other submarine will cover 116 nautical miles in that time. That is a very, very, very long distance. As a matter of fact, if I want to work that out, he'll be hitting that point 1 hour and 16 minutes, 116 nautical miles. That will put him here at that time, which means not only will we be hitting him exactly when he's crossing that point, but it also means we'll be making a ton of noise and basically get picked up by his regular kind of surface sonar. So unfortunately, 5 hours from now, that is not going to work for us. This is not a viable strategy at that speed. If we go up to 33 knots, that's going to improve things a little tiny bit here. And that's going to mean that's going to be 5 hours and 17 minutes, which, as you can see, that doesn't do anything for us as well. Which means if we're actually going to be able to kind of parallel this guy for a while, we're going to have to be able to do it really, really, really aggressively. Now, what we could do, of course, is we could do a beeline in that general direction, but we're basically giving him our entire baffles when we do that, which is basically the zone that we cannot hear. We're also counting on this poor airplane here to basically hang out here this entire time, dumping enough sonar buoys inside the water that they can walk from one end to the other. But hey, this is all about strategy, so we're going to have give it a try. The other thing, of course, we could do is grab out our attack helicopters and smoke him, but that's going to not be nearly as satisfying as doing it properly. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and extend this just a little bit here, and I'm actually going to add myself another waypoint to give him a little tiny bit more room, which means he's going to hit that point. Let's go ahead and click on it and press the F2 key. Oh, you're no fun. We're probably going to hit this point quite a ways from here. So what I'm going to do is order him up. Oh, it's really not letting me do F2 keys anymore. Let me make sure I didn't accidentally. Let's see here. Boop. There it is. 5 hours and 11 minutes. I think that's workable. Let's see. 6 hours and 5 minutes. 6 hours and 5 minutes would be 120 nautical miles for a sub. 120 nautical miles is beautiful. Yes, we can do this. Okay, crack those knuckles. Let's do it. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep our little Orion here, and I keep him kind of busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little zone around this sub and have the Orion basically live in that zone the entire time. So to do that, what I'm going to do is deselect all of my reference points here. I'm going to go ahead and control right click, create a little rectangle here. I'm going to go ahead and square this off real quickly, and then I'm going to link it to the submarine. So now what I'm going to do is order that little P3 to basically stay there. Stay here, please. And I'm just going to have him basically just tool around. ASW patrol, press OK. We're going to grab that Orion. He's going to do the job. I'm going to tell him to loiter the entire time. I don't want him wasting any more fuel than he needs to. What I really wish I should do is tell him not to use active anything, because if he flips on that radar, he's going to kill us. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that thing off. Okay, so he's now going to go ahead and fly through this little region and keep him. Meanwhile, our Perry is going to turn around and book it all the way to that other spot. Ready? Go. Oh, apparently I've messed that up a little bit, so let me go ahead and do a fixed bearing. Yep, fixed bearing to this guy. Oh, it won't let me do fixed bearing. That's so lame. All right, fine. In which case I'm going to make it a corridor then. That's lame. I should be able to do that. Maybe it's something I did wrong, I'm sure. Okay, good enough. All right, here we go. Boop, 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 boop. I feel sorry for that P3. He's got a kind of a boring job here. Whoa, losing sight, losing sight. That's okay. Boop, boop, boop. I really want to hum Mission Impossible right now, but that could get you demonetized. Yeah, that's right, boy. Stay on 140. Don't not be on 140. I got a present for you. Ooh, man, I might actually have to drag that out a little bit. He's really making time right now. Yeah, let's drag it out a little bit. I don't like it. Of course, by the time I manage to get to an attack position on this guy, we'll have already gotten to England, and that's no fun. At that point, we'll get all the Nimrods and stuff to help us out. But hey, this is just for the air purposes of an exercise here. Normally, this works much, much better with, slow-moving diesel submarines and not, these high-speed modern things. All right. Let's do it. All right, we lost sight of him again. That's all right. That's all right. We'll pick him up. There he is. We're losing him again. We're losing him. And we've lost him completely. That happens all the time. All right, I'm going to drop this guy down to creep. All right, send in the helicopters. Grab helicopter number 1 here. Go ahead and launch individually. And he's got to pick up the trail of our pesky, pesky, pesky enemy sub. Remember, we have those 2 positions from a while ago. I can go select those real quick. And by just lining those up, we can tell that he's roughly in this position. Although I'm noticing we're picking up something. It's probably right in here somewhere. So at the very least, I can go ahead and stick my helicopter on him. Oh, there he goes. All right, my friend, you've got the duty. So what I'm going to do is use this helicopter as basically a little barrier system here so that he can kind of spot that sub and we can do deeds to him before they manage to get away. So I'm guessing, so we last saw him. Okay, so I'm guessing he's probably a little bit further out of my little zone here. So what I will do is I'm going to try to spot him here. I'm going to grab this, shrink this down. All I can do is add the helicopter to it so I can try to identify where he is. And again, this is going to be, stay here, please. I'll have the name of that. And meanwhile, I'm assuming he's going to be somewhere along here. Chances are he's going to be quite a bit further there. So I'm going to grab this little helicopter. I'm going to go ahead and tell him to do attach to that mission there. Assign to mission. Stay here, please. He's going to go run off and do that real quick. I don't know why. Oh, because I did the slow down. Let's make sure it's a cruise on the transit there so he gets there in time. We'll go ahead and shrink this zone a little bit tighter because, again, we're just interested in basically dropping right on him. But we need that last couple little positions here. I actually think this is going to be further out, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be more like this. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up a little bit. Line it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and actually order up a couple extra knots here and keep them from cavitating, though, because I don't want him making any noise. Ooh, we're coming for you, sub. We're coming. All right, here we go. Whoa! What did he do? Run out of fuel? Or did I mess something up here? Oh, because I must have added that as a whip. I didn't. Huh. Okay, I'm just having a bit of a glitch there, but we'll go ahead and take him off there. Send him over here. What on earth is he doing? Oh, he's trying to attack the... Oh, I see what he's doing there. He's trying to automatically attack. So let me go ahead and take this and actually drop it. So that way I get a little more control for this guy. Gladiator 2, let's go send him over here. And let's go ahead and pop a buoy in the water. Yes, he already did an active buoy right there. I wonder if this is a new bug. All right, fine. I'm going to have to cheat a little bit in order to get him properly lined up here. So I'm going to go ahead and start dropping because, like I said, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Drop another one of those. Let's go ahead and drop another one of those. And we'll see if we can find that guy. And like I say, I expect him to be somewhere along this bearing. And unfortunately, he keeps locking on to whatever this is. So I'm actually going to take it one step further. I'm just going to delete the fixed bottom array so it doesn't distract us from this particular mission here. There we go. Now you can start getting to work, sir. So let's go ahead and assign him to mission. Stay here, please. And now I can go ahead and start taking care of that. It's still detecting it. What is it doing? All right, so we're going to go ahead and sneak around here. Where are you going? Oh, man, I love it when it does that. You're not allowed to do any of that. Now get your butt back in here and go back to work. Okay, now we've got him under control. Cool. So now what I would like... Oh, there he is. Yes! My math was good. All right, let's do it to it. So that's my SSN. He's... no, I got to be more precise than that. Again, I'm using my bearing tool here to line it up as perfectly as possible. Oh, my gosh, look how close I was. So that's going to be my attack point. It's going to be right here. So let's deselect everything. Deselect. I need this guy to get to this point. That will be my sinking point. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this here. I'm going to go ahead and order him. Let's see, that's going to take him. How long is it going to take him to get there? Total time to get there is going to be 13 nautical miles. It's going to take 54 minutes. This guy, how long is it going to take him? This 47. Yeah, we got to go faster. Go fast, go fast. Ignore cavitation. Just go, 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 go. We can slow down later. All right, I'm going to keep this guy right on top of him. If anything, I wouldn't mind that if he would slow down and go ahead and pop down his dipping sonar so we can take a better listen for him. All right, here we go, here we go. Stay with him. Stay with him. Nice. Stay right there. Speed up time a little bit. I told you this was awfully slow warfare. All right, we'll go ahead and take him, and we'll go ahead and line him up this way. Oh, yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. Creep. Slow down. Stop. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Now we've got our chance. Okay, so here's how this game is played now. So this gladiator right here is basically got to stay with this guy. So what I'm going to do is actually delete him from the mission because I don't want him to be causing any issues here. Knock him out of that mission. That way I can basically use him to kind of keep an eye on this guy the whole time. So we're going to go sneak up on him. I've only got 2 die casts left, so I'm going to go ahead and pop a couple of those in the water on our way home. Drop one here, and we'll drop one here. Go home. All right. Everybody, cross your fingers. I hate this part. 58 minutes. Oh, those 2 things have already faded away. Now our entire frigate crew right now is just sitting there going, when is it going to hit? Any second. Any second. Interesting. Now, something doesn't... I want... Okay. I see what happened. So in this particular case, what our little lovely submarine, our helicopter did, is it must have launched a torpedo. If I have to guess, I'm guessing he's sinking right now, because there's no way he wouldn't have made this distance in that time. So he's either slowed down or he's sinking. Let's take a look. It looks like our helicopter was a bit of an overachiever there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and edit our scenario real quickly so you can kind of see the fun conclusion here. So it's sorry that this guy got a little banged up a little bit here. No fire. Damage 0.0. See, he's fine. Fine. No damage. He's fine. Overall damage. Let's go ahead and unpause. Pause. Look at that. He's fine. Send this guy back up to full speed. We'll make sure he's not cavitating. Cruise speed. Let's 1-2 skip a few. Notice we never detected the Oliver Hazard parry at any time. That's how nice of a job we did here. Oh, we would have been off course a little bit, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and move him right about here. Let's make sure his speed is set correctly. Looks good, looks good. We still can't see the Oliver Hazard parry because remember the parry is just sitting there nice and quietly, just kind of hanging out, nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, surprise. So now here's what we're going to do. So we fast forwarded a little bit if you want to think of it. So our calculations are correct. He decided to stay on 140 for some silly reason. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch my other helicopter. Now here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to launch the helicopter, and then you're going to want to use the helicopter to force this guy up to speed right into the incoming torpedoes that come out of the parry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to speed up time just a little bit here. There's my helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter. Good to see you, helicopter. Notice, by the way, our Shuka is completely clueless that there's an Oliver Hazard parry. Just relaxing right there on the ocean's surface. Everybody's sitting there. The torpedo crews are sitting there looking very, very confident, cool, calm, collected. At this point, of course, we'd want to go ahead and sneak up on this guy a little more aggressively. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive him into the parry, and he's going to make a ton of noise, and he's going to get a real surprise in just a few moments. Now, the Oliver Hazard parry has a range of this. So we're going to do what they call an anvil attack. We're going to try to wedge him between both at the same time. So I'm actually going to order my helicopter to slow down a little bit. All right, so he's getting a little closer. We're going to wait until he just gets into range, and then we're going to pop him with the deed here. So again, we'll speed up time just a little bit here, just a little tiny bit. Again, we need that submarine to go blasting as fast as it possibly can into the danger zone here. And you can see I'm actually going to order my helicopter to come to a hover here. There it is, right there. There it is, right there. Okay, so here's how the game is played. We're going to go ahead and order the helicopter to come back up to speed. We're going to order him to fire a maximum range torpedo here. He needs to get within 0.4 of the target range, so order him up to full speed here. He's going to catch right up to him, and the torpedo is going to get popped in the water. I don't know why they need that silly requirement where you have to be within a certain range, but that's okay. So as soon as the torpedo gets popped in the water, he's going to accelerate as fast as he can. Okay, can you do it? You going to do it, or are you going to be lame here? Put the torpedo in the water, please. Are we up too high, perhaps? Let's go ahead and see what he's doing this time. Cancel. Too high, like I said. Minimum altitude. And go ahead and get down. Get down. I hate it when it does things like this. And that's 1,000 feet. Come on, torpedo in the water. Order the attack. And torpedo. That's you drop the sonobuoy to confirm the target range. And come on, anvil attack. You're more than... There it is. Torpedo in the water. Good. So now we're going to grab our Oliver Hazard parry. And now what I would do is I would tell them to hold on just a tiny bit before firing. So what I'm going to do is bring them off to the side, going like 2 knots here. Just so that he can get into range to pop his 2 torpedoes. So notice he fires both torpedoes, and now we've got the anvil shots. So what's going to happen now is our Shuka friend here. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. He's zooming. He knows there's a torpedo on his tail. He's jamming on it. Check it out. He is up to 28 knots, but he has no idea there's an FFG right here and 2 other torpedoes that are going to come say hello. These are Mark 46s. Look at him just go. He's nice and confident, and, I'm fine. There's a torpedo back there. I can probably outrun it. No problem. I am the safest little thing in the entire ocean right now. Nothing bad will ever come about me. Let's go ahead and switch to, let's see, Tom Clancy vision here and see what happens. Go pop onto my little Kula here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And let's watch the action. Check this out. I see Sprite's going home after a hard day's work. My Kula, look at him go. Look at him go. He's like, I'm fine. Look at this. It's just a Mark 46. It ain't going to do anything to me. I'm just going to go as low as I can. Look at that Mark 46. He's going to eat my decoy in a second. Everything's going to be perfectly fine. This, by the way, is always nice. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Sails right past him. That Mark 46 is going clueless. It's immediately starting to go into circle mode because it's lost the acquired target. Akula's feeling more confident than ever. He's still making really, really good time. Oh, by the way, did you know I launched 2 more torpedoes? And the other torpedoes are detected, and now they're all jumping on him at once. And he's gone. All right, folks, hopefully you like my little demonstration there. I just wanted to kind of show you how you can use a little bit of tactics to basically create an impossible, unwinnable scenario for a buddy. Obviously, a lot of these things have required a little bit of finagling in order to get right, but at the same time, you got a chance to see just how impossible an escape maneuver you can create. Enjoy.